One of the hardest things that I experienced was my dad being murdered in 2014. Like, my dad was like a big, he did like a second chance home for people getting straight out of jail, or, you know, not, you know, addicts who were sober then. Like, he would get you acclimated with everyday life, you know, pay bills, get a job. He'd help you find a job. His only rules were you had to go to church, you had to pay like $7 a week. You know, getting you used to paying to live and working and, you know, figuring out your own way. And one of the guys in his house that was staying there, he actually killed him because he was getting put out because he was back on drugs and he wasn't paying his $7 a week. It was a very easy, not strict program, like, at all. And I feel like because I'm so much like him and like wanting to always help everybody, it made me very cold for a little while. I couldn't even write music anymore. Like, I found myself going to the studio and just writing some trash, and it's like my reputation is so high, I can't continue to do this. I just took a hiatus, and then I went into a deep depression on it. And actually, it was like my nieces that helped me get out of it, because I had them for like a few weeks or whatever. And so after I got through that, it took a while, but just being around things that made me happy, and that's when I realized, like, when we go through stuff, we always feel like it's the hardest thing at the moment. Like, every time something bad happens, it's like, yo, this is the worst shit that's ever happened to me. How am I gonna make it through this? But then you gotta look at your life and realize you've already been through something way worse, and look at you now. You know what I mean? Like, you just gotta say fuck it and keep pushing. Like, things are going to happen. Bad things are gonna happen because there has to be a balance. You know, the only way that you can really appreciate the positive and great things in life is you got to experience some dark ones. There has to be a balance, but you just have to not give a fuck about those bad things. You know, they're gonna happen. You're gonna dust yourself off. You're gonna get up and keep it pushing. Fuck it, like, just keep going. What's odd is I didn't, like, woman empowerment wasn't in the forefront of my mind when I created my music. It was just to be myself and just to be genuine with what I had to give, and hoped that that empowered everyone. Women, men, trans, LGBTQ, whatever, everything. I just wanted it to be universal, but it is very important for me as a thicker girl, dark-skinned girl, lesbian girl, to really try and knock down as many walls as I possibly can for the next girls coming up who want to do music. There's never been a lesbian superstar. Never. Like, an out one. Like, you know, there's some closet ones that are huge, but there's never been an out one who just embraces who they are and helps other young women embrace who they are. I feel like that's so important. It's so important for me to share the things that I went through coming up in music, being told by execs I'm too thick or too dark to do this type of music, or, you know, like, she's a lesbian, I don't know, or she's thick and she's dark. How do I market that? Be creative, bro. Like, what do you mean? How do you stop living in the old ages and realize that being a star, as they so eloquently put it, doesn't look one way. It doesn't come one way. It isn't one orientation. It isn't one size. It isn't one color. It's just, it's so vast because we're all like really stars in real life. It just depends on what you're a star at. Whatever your passion is, whatever your gift is, that's what you're a star at, whether it be on a big scale or a small scale. So like, I want to make sure that girls know it's okay to be yourself. Just be you. Like, whatever that looks like, whatever that is to you, be authentically you. Be unapologetically you. Don't let anybody change your perspective of what something should look like. It should look like whatever you created into. That's like anime. Like, there's no one way to create a story. There's no one way to say, I love you. There's so many different ways you can explain everything. There's so many different ways that things exist. So just be you. There's nobody else like you in this world. We need you to just be yourself.